Yeah, some crazy things are happening here. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe Box Office Records. And we have a lot to cover here, so let's tread lightly. In a time where Angel Studios has lost their mind,
You are the chosen one!
and Capcom with Pragmata has become incredibly based, we got a lot to talk about. Finn, to a special episode of Super Smash Bros.
Anniversary Watch.
Where we check if Smash Bros. Franchises are given their dues for the year, featuring movie news. Starting with Donkey Kong. Now, Donkey Kong is interesting because we just got information from the Spain Illumination site that a certain movie is out April 12th, 2028. And the only film that fits that description is the Donkey Kong movie. Now, Zelda. Zelda has just been announced to be out on IMAX. After that, we have Metroid. And Metroid is very cool. Okay, so, yes, a Metroid film is in the works. However, both Universal and Sony are having a bidding war on who will be adapting it themselves. Though if Universal gets it, it will be based off the horror genre. Interesting take. I mean, it makes sense for its alien roots. As in Ridley Scott Alien. Next we have Sonic. Sonic 4 is also going to be in IMAX for the first time, meaning it's going to get mucho bucks compared to 3. We also have news that a Luigi's Mansion movie is in fact in the works. They just need to find writers. There's also a Pikmin movie in the works. Oh, it doesn't stop there. We also have the Mario 3 movie, which I will get into what I think it will be soon. Just wait. It's going for a 2029 release. Then we have a Star Fox movie coming out in 2030. Not to mention, a Kirby movie is in early development. A Yoshi's Island movie is in early development. And a Super Smash Bros. Movie is coming out after Star Fox. As well as a Bowser's film, a Princess Peach film, and a Rosalina film. This is insane. So that means we're going to have to change the upcoming films and shows list to include the rumor mill. But I will update and add the Donkey Kong movie post-haste. And I will update said movie title when we actually get it. So now let's take a look at parts 3 and 4 of the Super Mario Galaxy movie review. And I will see you for domestic. Thus we have our means to start this isekai, with no Truck-kun in sight. Isekai, Japanese for otherworld, is a subgenre of anime, manga, and light novels featuring a protagonist transported to or reborn in a different, often fantasy or game-like world. And Truck-kun is a popular anime trope and meme where a character is hit by a truck and reincarnated into a fantasy world, acting as a gatekeeper or quick plot device to start isekai journey. And hilariously, the whole start of Truck-kun started because they had to kill off an anime character because a certain company couldn't fund the toy sales anymore. And the gatekeeper of this universe is Pipes, a piece of lore we will need later, moving from the known or ordinary world into the unknown or special world in a departure via supernatural aid, but not the actual one just yet. where he finds Luigi in the same fate as him, being pulled against his will by forces they do not understand. His little brother is being pulled in the opposite direction, leaving Mario to land in a world made of his least favorite food.
Mushrooms, really? Now that is a cruel twist of fate.
With his brother in danger, he is now committed to the quest, and his magical helper becomes known in the form of Toad, who leads him in the path of his mentor. All the while, Luigi is dealing with dry bones, a scene I absolutely love, followed by Shy Guys. Then back to Mario and Toad, crossing some Flotanium, and having to experience an excess of pipes, but not before a few threshold guardians, the lying toads at the door.
Our princess, though, is in another castle.
His helper, the future Captain Toad, gets him through, and Mario is face to face with his mentor, Princess Peach, the super ego.
Because you're very, very small.
After Peach sizes him up, he pleads for help to save his brother, his want, but not before he tests his resolve, introducing the talismans of this world, the power-ups.
They give us special abilities.
When you get hit, you lose the power.
There's a supernatural aid, a useful tool in the realm of adventure, which forces him to quickly curb his resentment to mushrooms then and there, as the standard power-up is just that. The super mushroom that came from the original Super Mario Bros. Is an element of isekai-derived fiction that pulls from temples of both Lewis Carroll and Elsie Chrysler Segar to give Mario both a bigger size and super strength. The scene where Mario witnesses individual limbs growing before others harrows back to Alice's famous moments where food changes her size. He refuses to give up, being a good in-universe reason why Mario persists in every game to push forward. Back at Bowser's lair, he explains his reasoning for conquest. Love, where a lore beat is explained in a joke.
Well, what if she says no?
When Koopas are burned, they become dry bones. But wait a minute, this dry bones has light in its eyes, whereas the ones with Luigi had fire. Interesting. Remember this for later. Oh, and while Luigi is being captured, he reminisces from a time his brother defended him. From a snot-nosed kid who is jealous of other kids' castles. Could be a fan of garlic, you never know. Mario's adventure has begun. He's crossing the threshold, leading to his initiation, starting his journey of self-transformation.
No pressure.
And oh look, there's a herd of Yoshis. And is that Tostarena Desert? We'll need to remember them later. Mario, Peach, and Toad are all traveling a great distance, with the princess briefly stopping to muse on the possibilities of one's birth. From a galaxy, perhaps? Speaking of galaxy, after Luigi is interrogated by Bowser, he encounters a Luma Lee, a subspecies of Luma that awaits suffering.
Only hope is the sweet relief of death.
I mean, it makes sense, as the Lumas live to die as one form to begin as another, selling out their bodies for star bits to become support items. A very nuanced interpretation for a Luma Lee to be a nihilist. While Luigi hopes for escape, the others have come to Kong Jungle, a cart symbiotic locale, to seek guidance and protection from the Kongs. But their king, Cranky Kong, a lineage muddled by retconning, seeks someone to take on his son. Sadly, Donkey Kong Jr. is out of the equation, which asks Mario to do a trial to test the knowledge he's learned so far. He enters the arena based off the OG Donkey Kong game and meets Donkey Kong for the first time. The Trickster, aka the individual put into the story to create mischief. A character that has a lot of ego himself, And ooh, isn't that Diddy, Dixie, and Chunky Kong? Hope we see them again! DK reinforces Mario's self-loathing of his small stature, insisting he can beat his opponent with just his raw strength, being a bit of a battle purist. Mario, however, goes for the power-up route, while thinking that first mushroom is the only power-up available in his arsenal, not knowing the question block is a gamble. His first power-up, the mini mushroom, debuted from Mario Party 4 of all games, then took on the current design in New Super Mario Bros. By ingesting it, instead of getting bigger, he worsened his insecurities of being so small by literally shrinking in the arena. But even after being wailed on, he still keeps going. The next power-up, however, is a real surprise. No setup, no foreshadowing, just pure luck. Remember, Luigi is the one that encountered the cat, not Mario. Mario gets the Super Bell, the main power-up for Super Mario 3D World, that turns him into a cat, that at least puts him on equal footing with the ape in the zoological sense. It allows the user to scratch, pounce, and slide into enemies, climb up walls, and dash at crouching height and quicker than any other form, getting the upper hand due to Donkey Kong's hubris. Mario proved to Peach he was the fighter she needed, and they get access to the Kong army.
You just don't know when to quit!
It was this win that leads to Princess Peach seeing the value of Mario's persistence. This was his need, the validation to him never giving up. So we'll see the last part of the Super Mario Bros. Next week. Now, let's take a look at the numbers, shall we? Now, domestic stays in the same place, where we have $402,676,935. However, when we get to international, that's when things get really weird. So I'm just perusing on Box Office Mojo, and I come across this. 1,442,856,374. And I have to look into this and see if it's legit. I look through all the numbers, everything's peachy keen, until I get to Mexico. And it has, and I quote, $1,056,000,000. I am in disbelief seeing these numbers. So I look even deeper and I see that the numbers don't add up. It is equal to 93,532,268. And I show it to people online, and they are convinced that the numbers are legit. So, in the end, it was a glitch. They put in the wrong freaking numbers. The reality is, Mexico only supplied 60,496,128. Someone made an error. And the official international numbers are $491,547,000. Which means for worldwide, we have $894,223,935. We're very close to 900 million, and we'll reach there this week. Now, instead of having an episode of Secret Level Episode 15, because my episode is incomplete, I will give you the adventure of how I discovered Game Center Arashi. And after that, we'll see you at the updated, upcoming films and shows. Well, looky what I have here. I got myself a little package. I wonder what's inside. Some kind of box, I see. Wonder what's underneath the cardboard. Looky, I got a bookie. I got Game Center Arashi. Now, how did I learn of this game-obsessed boy? So, backstory. In my many searches for video game-based entertainment, going from Wreck-It Ralph, Fistful of Quarters, Dragon Quest Your Story, Ready Player One, Free Guy, to solid anime selections such as the ill-fated saga of No Game, No Life, the beginning of the stuck in the RPG isekai genre of Da Hack Sign, aka the prequel to the 4 games of Da Hack: Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, and Quarantine. The delightful new game series, the outright underrated time-hopping adventure that is 16-bit sensation Another Layer. I found myself in the surprisingly dubbed, short-lived series of arcade gamer Fubuki. It was a cheeky, magical girl series featuring a girl gamer who powers through games with the help of passion panties. And wackier still, the dub features a voice cast from the Pokemon dub, with Veronica Ash Taylor as Fubuki, Jessica K. Calvello as Hanako, everyone else would know her as Excel from Excel Saga, Lisa Sabrina Ortiz as Chizuru, and Dan Ente Green as the Gulasek leader. You would think that the first thing you would see was the main character of the anime, but that was not the case. You see a buck-toothed kid being pushed to a kin of a superhero. I once thought this character was throwaway, a gimmick, something one-off, until they did something I didn't expect. They made him a significant part of the story. Now, I was curious. Was this a character I needed to learn more about? Was this anime leading me into a rabbit hole after another rabbit hole that was more than the sum of its parts? After watching that whole 4-episode series, I was intrigued. Mind you, this was actually before I got myself into the research of Hyankyo Alien. Then that game came up, and then it dawned on me. This buck-toothed character that I once wrote off became one of the pillars needed to inspire the whole of the maze chase genre. Naturally, after that, I was humbled. I took it upon myself to dive into the anime that is still unsubbed to uncover the treasures adapted from what I would later learn was an important manga in the whole of shonen history. I watched all 26 episodes back to back, not understanding a single word they said. I speak English, don't you know, despite having characters that were pretty ridiculous by today's standards. I was learning about games I never knew about and saw games I did know about portrayed in a fun way. I learned this was the first gaming-themed anime and manga ever made, and yet Americans never saw him until his dub debut in arcade gamer Fubuki. It's a real shame, because the more I looked at him, the more his influence to Japanese media became apparent. I knew I had to look at the manga that started it all, but in order to get there, we are due for another enriching dive into history. It's all coming together, and it will soon lead to Pac-Man. Now, before we get to upcoming films and shows, we do have a bit of interesting news. The date of the PVOD has been delayed again to May 19th. So we have yet another week to enjoy the movie in theaters only. Now let's take a look what's coming up soon. First is Street Fighter, coming out October 16th of 2026 by Paramount and Legendary, followed by Sonic the Hedgehog 4, out March 19th, 2027 by Paramount and Sega. After that, we have Legend of Zelda, out May 7th of 2027 by Sony and Nintendo, Following that, we have a Minecraft sequel coming out July 23rd, 2027 by Paramount, Warner Brothers, and Legendary. After that, we have Donkey Kong Movie out April 12th, 2028 by Nintendo and Illumination. After that, we have the Untitled Sonic Movie coming out December 22nd, 2028 by Paramount and Sega. After that, we have the Super Mario Bros. Movie 3 coming out 2029 by Nintendo and Illumination. And after that, we have the Star Fox movie out in 2030 by Nintendo and Illumination. And after that, we have show news. Pac-Man Snack Breaks is out on YouTube May 22nd, 2026 by Bandai Namco. And after that, we have the films with no release date, with Metal Gear Solid by Sony and Konami, Detective Pikachu 2 by Legendary, Mega Man by Netflix, Pac-Man by Fox and Wayfarer Studios, Luigi's Mansion movie by Nintendo Illumination, and Metroid movie by Nintendo and Sony or Universal. Then we have the shows with no release date. Then we have Secret Level by Amazon Prime that will hopefully be out this year. Fingers crossed. After that, we have the Pokemon live-action series featuring Red by Netflix, and we have the Minecraft animated series by Netflix. Following that, we have the rumored films, and we have Pikmin, Yoshi's Island, Kirby, Super Smash Bros. After Star Fox, Bowser's, Princess Peach, and Rosalina. Now, do not let Seth Rogen in the writer's room for Donkey Kong. And we are done. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe, and smash that bell in order to get notifications on the channel where everything grows on you.